Thank you, everybody, and it is truly wonderful to be here. And before I begin, let me just start by thanking the incredible public service of the province of Ontario, who helped us deliver over 700 delegations over this AMO. So I want to take a moment just to thank and congratulate them for all of their hard work. Of course, also want to thank AMO and Mayor Sutcliffe. I know Mayor Sutcliffe is here. Thank you so much for also being a wonderful host. It is always special to be in the nation's capital. You know, colleagues, look, each and every year we come together to take stock of where we are and what we're doing and how we are going to move forward over the coming year. Now, as I said in the video, when we took office, it was clear that Ontario was struggling. We were struggling under the burden of over-regulation, crippling taxes, and out-of-control energy prices. The healthcare advantage that we had and that had been so key in helping us attract investment to the province of Ontario, well, we had lost that advantage. Our manufacturers, well, they had lost faith, and at the same time, over 300,000 jobs vanished from the province of Ontario. Why? Because we had become one of the least competitive jurisdictions in North America to do business. Now, for our northern colleagues, you will remember that our predecessors, they called Northern Ontario no man's land. And they failed to invest in infrastructure. They failed to invest in transit, long-term care, roads, bridges, and highways. But the Premier knew we had to do things differently. He understood that if Ontario was once again to be a national leader and global powerhouse, that we had to cut taxes, and we have just done that. As we said in the video, we cut taxes for small, medium, and large job creators by over $8 billion while reducing the cost of doing business in the province of Ontario by over $1 billion in red tape reductions. We have stabilized energy prices, and we have become a global leader in advancing technologies to meet the clean energy demand of the future. And we are investing in healthcare with massive investments in modern hospitals and long-term care in communities of all sizes. We are building new roads, new transit and transportation networks all across the province of Ontario. People said that we couldn't build new hospitals in small and rural communities. We're doing that, and we're modernizing those hospitals. They said we couldn't get subways into York Region. Well, we are getting subways into York Region. They said that we couldn't expand GO train services two-way all day. We're doing that. They said that in Kenora that we couldn't two-lane that highway from Manitoba to Kenora because it would be too expensive. Well, we're getting that done as well. And colleagues, you've heard it from the Premier and you've heard from my Cabinet and caucus colleagues that no part of this province could be left behind by the explosive growth in our province, and the Premier has said that Northern Ontario had to be a major part of the growth of our province, and that is why we are bringing back the Northlander. That is why we are opening up the Ring of Fire and connecting Northern Ontario to the grid and to high-speed internet. And since 2018, we have leveraged more than $2.4 billion in investment, creating over 10,000 jobs in northern communities by funding over 6,700 projects across the north. And the Premier understands that now more than ever, Ontario's prosperity, and I say this very clearly to some of my Southern Ontario colleagues, Ontario's prosperity is dependent on the economic might of Northern Ontario like it never has been before, and we will not leave Northern Ontario behind. Now, colleagues, when we last met here at AMO, it was becoming very clear that inflation was becoming a very big challenge. The Bank of Canada had just raised interest rates faster than at any other time in the history of our country. And it had become very expensive to build homes, very expensive to build infrastructure. And for those looking to buy their first home, the increasing interest rates priced them out of the market. But before those interest rate hikes, Ontario had begun building homes, and homes of all types, faster than we had ever done that before. Purpose-built rentals were at an all-time high. We had never built more purpose-built rentals faster than we had prior to those interest rate hikes. And new housing starts smashed decades-old records in the province of Ontario. And at last year's AMO conference, when we left, we resolved that we were going to work together. We're going to work better together. You, our municipal colleagues, and we, your provincial partners. And in the last year, I think that we have done a good job and that we have listened. We have made changes to better address your ability to deliver infrastructure. We have introduced a use it or lose it provision to unlock stalled projects. We have exempted universities from the Planning Act to unlock student housing and to get shovels in the ground faster. And we have modernized the application process to ensure that the appeals process to further unlock a development process. And that change alone will unlock 65,000 units that have been held up at the OLT. And today, colleagues, after a significant amount of consultation with you, with stakeholders, with First Nations leaders, I am proud to say that we are launching Ontario's new provincial planning statement, and I know a lot of you have been asking for that, and today we will be launching that new statement. So look, the new plan, it will build on our ability to build more homes across the province of Ontario by reducing red tape. But it's going to do it without sacrificing your ability to protect jobs and to build beautiful, livable communities. Now, with this new planning statement, we are giving you, municipalities, the tools and the flexibility that you need to build more homes. It will ensure one consistent set of planning direction across the province. It recognizes that municipalities understand local challenges and priorities when it comes to building homes, and that the types of homes that are needed to be built in your communities, it is you who know best what you should be building in your communities for your residents. And colleagues, one of the most important things about the new planning statement is that it ensures that through our housing starts can continue to grow even with the global uncertainty that we're seeing, even with the increase in interest rates, that we are building a foundation for a long-term building boom across the province of Ontario. Now, I want to put this out there to you. The new planning statement, it is over 100 pages shorter, and it eliminates over 30,000 words of administrative burden in this statement. And that is incredible to help you build more quickly, to help those who want to build and invest in our province understand how to do it in the province of Ontario. And we aren't just laying out the PPS and saying, get at it, get to it. As you just heard from Minister Surma, we are backing up the things in the PPS with an over $3 billion investment in infrastructure across the province of Ontario. And colleagues, as I said earlier in the speech, we said that we were going to work together, you and us, the province of Ontario, and look at what we have accomplished by working together. You will all remember earlier this year when it was the federal government that threatened to hold back funding for the National Housing Strategy. AMO, you and we worked together. They were failing to recognize the work that you and that we had done together to build more affordable homes across the province of Ontario. They failed to recognize 11,000 units, but more importantly, they failed to recognize the extraordinary work that all of you have done to build over 125 units, to refurbish those units, to give and provide the residents of your communities modern units, to bring more of those units online that had not been able to be used. They failed to recognize that, and by working together, we took on the federal government and we won. And let me tell you this, colleagues, we're not going to stop there. The success of the Team Ontario approach, is one that we will continue to do as we move forward to try to unlock federal infrastructure dollars in the coming months. And I want to sincerely thank AMO and all of you for your assistance in helping us unlock that funding. Get really thirsty up here. Now, colleagues, at the Roma Conference, many of you who were at the Roma Conference will remember I said that it is time for us to end the culture of delay. We need to work together in order to deliver results. And last year, over 500,000 people came to this province. that came here to seek to help us build a bigger, better, stronger, and safer province of Ontario. They came here for the opportunity. Now, it's the opportunity that comes with over $50 billion worth of investment. It's the opportunity that comes when over 800,000 people now have the dignity of a job that didn't before 2018. And we are attracting people from around the world. All of you know this because you are seeing it in your communities. We're attracting people from around the world, from around Canada, from across Canada, from the United States, and they want to come here. They are coming here with a commitment to help us build, but at the same time, they are asking us for something in return. They are asking us to help them achieve their goal. And we have to do that by showing leadership. You know, when my parents came here, my dad got off a train, off a boat, came from Italy in the late 50s, early 60s. My mom went to work on the Danforth. His dream was a house. After his day-long shift, he went to a home, a small home on the Danforth where his 3 brothers lived, but one by one, they achieved their goal. They achieved their dream. And it is up to us to ensure that we remove obstacles so that everybody can enjoy the dream of home ownership. And across the province, let me say this, across the province, many of you are showing leadership. In London, under Mayor Morgan, over 10,000 homes have already been approved this year, which compares to 5,300 all of last year. That's a 95% increase. In Guelph and Hamilton, Mayors Guthrie and Horvath, well, they use strong mayor powers to transform parking lots into affordable housing. In my hometown of Stouffville, Mayor Lovett and that council, well, they smashed through their housing targets in 2023. And this year in Oakville, under Mayor Burton, they have not only already met their housing target, they surpassed it by the end of June. Now, I talked a lot about, to a lot of you who've come to see me over the last couple of days, I talked about the sense of that we got out of the Roma conference and in some of those northern and rural conferences that we have. There was an energy that came out of those 2 conferences. Delegation after delegation after delegation was focused on how they can play a role in building more homes, how they can be a part of building 1.5 million homes across the province of Ontario. Many of you said you did not want to be left behind. I look at St. Thomas under the leadership of Mayor Preston. By saying yes, Mayor Preston helped us deliver one of the largest investments in the province of Ontario. In New Tecumseh, supported by Collingwood, they will support one of the largest investments in our country's history. So, colleagues, let us build more by making it easier, by reducing duplication and barriers to building more in smaller communities as well as in our larger communities. Smaller communities will no longer be left out of the dream of home ownership. You will continue and you will play an even bigger part in helping us meet our goals, and we will reduce those barriers and those obstacles, and we will help you get the job done. But we must hold each other accountable. Now, as I've crisscrossed the province, I've heard you say, and I've heard those that are building homes across the province say, that we need to do more to streamline approvals and harmonize process. Colleagues, look, a single detached home should be the same thing in Markham as it is in Kenora. The building code should be used as a tool to guide us, but not confuse us or the people who want to make investments in the province. And time after time after time, I have heard how the building code and how lack of harmonization is making it more difficult to build in the province of Ontario. We have to end the confusion, and we have to make it easier to build. But as we hold you accountable, I'm very much aware of the fact that we have to hold ourselves accountable. Of course, starting with my ministry, the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, but also the Ministry of Transportation, Environment, Energy, and Natural Resources. We cannot criticize you if we cannot deliver and focus on delivering better for you at the same time. My Associate Minister, yeah, okay, that's a good clap. I mean, I didn't tell my cabinet colleagues, mentioned there that I was going to say that, so that might be a cool reception after. But we've heard it time and time again, and we have to do a better job. Now, look, my Associate Minister of Housing, Minister Thana Gaslam, and Parliamentary Assistant Ray, look, we are focused on getting more homes built and delivering for the people of the province of Ontario. Now, we can say yes to do more because we have to, or we can say yes to doing more because it is the right thing to do and because we can. Now, in Athens, Ontario, I've talked about this at Roma. In Athens, Ontario, I know Mayor Herb Scott was here. He said yes to building a new long-term care home in a small community. It wasn't easy to do, but very soon people will be moving into a brand new long-term care community in Athens, Ontario. He said yes. That community said yes. They got it done. They did what they had to do to get more homes built. In Mississauga, under the leadership of Mayor Parrish, yesterday we had a delegation, and I can't tell you how excited I was to hear Mayor Parrish and her council colleagues say that Mississauga can do more, will do more. They will reduce red tape, they will reduce duplication, and they will deliver more housing for the people of the province of Ontario. In Burlington, Ontario, they are reducing development charges. In Barrie, they are reducing development charges. In Timmins, Niagara-on-the-Lake, they both came in and said they want to be a part of building more homes in the province of Ontario. They want to build more homes so that they can attract more jobs and opportunities to their communities. In Rainy River, they said a new bridge, a new investment that was so long overdue will unleash opportunities for them that they have never had before, and they want to play a role. So it is our job to let you make those investments, to help you unlock the obstacles. And let me be very clear. We'll work with you to unlock those obstacles. We'll work with you to get shovels in the ground. We're making investments on infrastructure. We will work with you to harmonize and to do better so that we can deliver for those who want to make massive investments in our community. But let's be under no illusion. We want to work with you, and we continue to work with you, but we will not hesitate to remove obstacles and to get things done across the province of Ontario. Now, before I conclude, I want to take a moment. I really do. You know, Colin, I can't thank you enough. He has shown incredible leadership as your president, and the work that we have been able to accomplish together has been simply amazing. And I thank you so much for your leadership and your guidance and your willingness to come to the table always and help be a part of finding solutions. I can't tell you, a big round of applause to Colin, because without him, we would have not been where we are here today. I always say, Colin, it's better to leave on your own terms. I got fired once in politics, and that's not, it's not a lot of fun, let me tell you. So it's always better to leave on your own terms when you've done a great job, and I think this conference really has to be one of those highlights. And to Robin, the incoming president, and your entire team, let me assure you that I remain committed, the caucus and cabinet colleagues, we remain committed to continuing to work with you and your entire team, because together we have accomplished so much in the province of Ontario. Our province, as the Premier has said, is the envy of Canada. It is the envy of the world, and we can work together to make Ontario a bigger, better, stronger, safer province, and together we'll get that accomplished. And with that, again, I thank you so much, and I invite my cabinet colleagues to join me on the stage for the most exciting part of all, the Ministers' Forum. Thank you all very much.